IVM.
Hey guys, welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. I'm going to start today's episode with a question. A question that one of my teachers asked in class, in a course that I'm doing right now. And, here's the question for you guys. What do you do when you get a new job? When you get that promotion or that dream job that you have really been working hard for? Do you sit back and relax because now you have exactly what you want? Or then do you do everything that you can to really perform better and do better and to, live your potential in that dream role? What do you do? Take a moment to think about the answer, because I'm about to ask you another question. What do you do when you finally commit to that beautiful relationship that you have been longing to have? Or when your relationship that you've been living and building for a few years is now leveling up and you're moving into another phase, be it marriage or be it having a child, be it moving into a new home or a new country with your partner? What do you do? Let me tell you what's the difference in our attitude when it comes to getting that dream job and getting that dream relationship. When it comes to a job, a lot of us will step up. We will step up into the role. We will level up into that. We will want to create an impression. We will want to, thrive, and our potential starts to come through. However, when you start dating somebody, when you are in a relationship, in the beginning, maybe for the first 2-3 months, the excitement is there. But after that, we don't step up. Usually, a lot of us just become more comfortable. When a relationship goes from, dating to marriage, what happens? So many of us behave as if, this thing is also struck off my list. Now what? Now we are married. So now life is over. Oh, now life has to be boring. Oh, now we're going to just live in this slow kind of way. Or that, now my relationship does not need any effort. Or then now my relationship does not require any work or any effort. And we can just cruise. I may have used many words and phrases to describe exactly what we do when we get into a relationship or when that relationship changes into marriage or goes into another phase. We sit back, we become complacent. If there's one thing that 2020 seems to have taught us, is that we're not allowed to be complacent this year, especially not with our relationships. A lot of us have found ourselves forced into long-distance relationships, thanks to COVID, despite being in the same city. A lot of us have found ourselves in a strange phase in our relationship where a sense of lack seems to be creeping into both people, as well as a sense of desire seems to be revealing itself. And how did we tackle this? Most of us stepped up. We improvised, we adapted, we made the extra effort. We did what we had to do to keep the relationship going, to keep it alive because it was important to us. We also, through a lot of drama, and our partners had to deal with a lot of mood swings. And it wasn't one way. It was both people in the relationship throwing drama at each other because there was a sense of feeling stuck, a sense of helplessness, and it's okay. But the one thing that many people did was that they stepped up. Now, if you are somebody who hasn't stepped up and you are still taking it for granted, let me remind you, love is a verb. It is about action. It's not about empty words. And saying I love you and I miss you is not enough. There, I spelt it out for you. Saying I love you and I miss you is not enough. In a relationship, Whether you are dating, whether you are married, whether you have kids, only words are never enough. Every statement that you make must be followed with the right action. Well, think about this. If your partner was to say, I love you, it would make you smile. It would make you feel nice. But if your partner were to give you a really tight hug and whisper, I love you, they would send your happy hormones shooting through your veins. Actions speak louder than words. Actions evoke louder emotions, more intense emotions than words. I'm also going to share another perspective on stepping up. And this one is specific to this year and what a lot of us have gone through. But it is also specific to a lot of people who are, well, generally in long distance relationships, or who are generally working or generally finding themselves in a kind of stagnant space in their relationship. Well, the first thing that you need to understand is that you need to be patient with yourself as well as your partner. You need to take into account external circumstances and how it is affecting both of you individually and not just how it's affecting your relationship. This is the mistake that we make. When we miss our partner, we start thinking about what we are feeling and how our picture, this narrative in our head of the relationship that we want to have, is being shattered. We only think about what it looks like to us. But you need to take into perspective and you need to take into consideration what your partner is going through as well. And you need to understand that the two of you are in this together. So think about this before you throw another emotional tantrum at yourself or at your partner. Ask yourself, is this really needed? Is this the best way that I can communicate what I am feeling? Is this really an appropriate way of telling my partner that I miss him or miss her? Or then, can I say it in a better way? A way that it evokes the right response, it evokes the kind of response or answer or message that I would like to receive from them. And if your relationship feels like it is stagnant, like something has plateaued, like the energy isn't swirling between the two of you, and you are experiencing a sense of lack, well, then do two things. One is talk about it and ask for what you want very clearly. Yes, your partner is not supposed to read your mind. He or she may not have that talent. Not many of us have it. And not many of us have the mind space or time to read someone else's mind either. It does not mean that you are unimportant or that you don't matter. It just means that they'd much rather have you spell things out for them. So if you are feeling a sense of lack and you need extra hugs and kisses and flowers, ask for it. You want your partner to do something specific for you, ask for it. Be very clear about what you are going through and what is the action that will help you feel better. The problem that comes up here is most of us don't know what action will make us feel better. We have no clue because we only want to know what the problem is. Finding a solution is obviously someone else's problem, right? So stop dumping your problems and your sense of lack on your partner. If you are missing them, it's a good thing. It says that you love them, that you want to feel the connection. Well, sometimes you just have to ask for it. And this year, 2020, given the circumstances that we're all living through, please ask for what you want shamelessly. Everyone is going through intense emotions. Please do not expect your partner to read your mind. This year demands of us to be practical and filled with warmth. Stepping up is a part of life. It is something that life demands of us. It is something that love demands of us. When you get into a relationship, you have to step up to what that relationship requires of you. just like any other area of your life. When your relationship moves into another phase, it demands certain things from you, and you must step up to that space. You must step up to the plate. When your relationship is going through a rough patch, through tough times, you need to step up to the plate. You need to make the effort to understand your own self, your partner, and your relationship. Let me just say one last thing before I sign off. And that is, each one of us is growing and evolving. You may fall in love with somebody today, but 5 years down the line, that person will be very different, and so will you. Which means that your relationship needs to be realigned, recalibrated. You need to recalibrate to where your relationship needs to go from there, to who your partner has become and who you have become. All of this is us evolving, growing, and stepping up every step of the way. So on that note, I'm asking you to evaluate your relationship right now. Think about the phase that it is in. Think about who your partner is today and who you are today, and realign and recalibrate yourself. Until the next episode, I hope you have a great week ahead.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's been an absolutely incredible week on the network. We had so many great guests, so many great episodes. Advertising is dead. We had Faye D'Souza on. Varun took a break for 4 weeks, but what a bang he's back with. Siddharth Deshmukh celebrates the 100th episode of The Traveling Professor. It is an amazing show which I cannot say enough good things about. Please do listen to it. And a different Siddharth on the network, Siddharth Bhatia. He's just been like absolutely guest after guest, right? This week, Zoya Akhtar talking about Gully Boy. I couldn't imagine a more interesting conversation. Ragini Kumar is on 2 different episodes this week. She is on Cyrus Says and she is on Edges and Sledges, both in anticipation of her new show, Zindagi Diaries. Do check out her appearance on both of those shows and her new show as well. Tanvi and Shloko, the Millennial Athlete, had a phenomenal episode with Dinesh Karthik and Abhishek Nair. Absolutely riveting stuff, talking about mentorship in many different ways. Definitely do give that a listen. And finally, I have a request to all of you. We have our listener survey going out this week. Every year we send out a listener survey at the end of the year. We're doing it again this year. And we would really appreciate your help in letting us know a little bit more about yourself. Our advertisers are really keen to find out who is listening to us and more about them. Anything that you could do is kept anonymously, and we would really appreciate your help in this. And to sweeten the pot just a little bit, we'll be giving a randomly selected group of participants in the survey some IBM swag. Last year we gave out coffee mugs. What we're going to give out this year is still a surprise. So please do help us out. Would really appreciate that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.